Good evening. Welcome to the Gooner Booth. It's Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. A little bit frustrating that. Before we get into it, please smash a like on this video. Put a comment in. Feel free to comment whilst we're on stream. Wayne, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, mate. Bit fuming, but I think it's a part relief, part fuming, mate. And I think obviously coming away from a place like that, I knew anyway. It's one of the fixtures at the end of it. I think of the week we've had going away to Burnley and we was in control. You go away to Slavia Prague and you got the crowd on your back, and then you go 3 away games in a row. One was going to go wrong. I would have preferred, obviously, this scoreline to be against Slavia Prague, and we would have won. They revert the scoreline that was at Slavia Prague this game, but yeah, it's not going to be sort of like wasn't going to be that way, Tone. So, but yeah.
I think it's fair to say this was probably the toughest game we've had so far this season in terms of, they scored early.
They played old school. They played to their strengths. They knew how to get us. And to be fair though, I think we played into their hands because that's the poorest defensive performance I've seen from this full season. As I say, in the end, I mean, David Raya could have been more commanding maybe, but also I think Gabby could have done in terms of the player. I know it's obviously we're discussing it just off air a second ago, but also look at it. I think a few players could have been stronger. Declan Rice for the first goal, let Ballard go. And for the second goal, I think Big Gabby should be stronger there as opposed to, sort of, he's going down. I get it, but the players obviously he's got his toe to it, and David Raya is nowhere near it. Listen, it's gutting one, but I think on how we played in the first half, I think we should all be thankful that it's a draw personally, because that was shocking from us in the first half. And as I say, Tone, I'm pretty sure there's not a person that will disagree with me. If we had maybe 3 or 4 of those attacking players that are out in that team, a Gyökeres, a Madueke, an Odegaard from Martinelli, we would have beat this team today. And he's substitutes at the end of that game with Mosquera. I was thinking, put Norgard on, put Wanyeri on, get fresh legs, and you're putting another defender in, putting 3 at the back, and you're inviting Sunderland on. And my dad's always been the same. Why did managers do it? Why did managers do that? Yeah. Why? My dad's always been the same. You know him for years, bud. But I have to agree with him in that. He used to always do his nut. With England, do it. If Arsenal used to do it, go, why are they putting another defender on? You're inviting. You've got less players up at the pitch. You're inviting them onto you and saying, "Come and attack us. We'll defend it." But personally, mate, all that moaning aside, I think we've come away with that today, and I think we should be thankful. It's a great 25 minutes of the second half where we actually looked like we wanted to do something. We did it. Got a fantastic finish again. Trossard, fair play to him. Saka, he was quiet all game, but that's a fantastic finish, and that's what the players do. But yeah, it was a poor. I would say, Tony, you're looking at a poor sort of 70 minutes from the team. 60 minutes, sorry, take away the 20-25 at the first. So we've come away with it. What did you think? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Do you know what? While I was watching the game, we weren't great, right? And I did say yesterday, we start off slow, we're going to be in trouble. And it's the first time this season we've conceded the first goal away from home. I mean, we've conceded against City and come back into it. But when we went 1-0 down, we just knew we were going to be up against it. And this, I think it's probably the worst day for us to have a bad defensive display against a team that was on it. And as soon as I think I agree with you, as soon as Mosquera comes on, we dropped back in. We were absolutely knackered.
Declan Rice, did you see? Sorry, dude. Declan Rice was blowing out of his arsehole.
I would have.
Get someone, get Norgard on, get a Wanyeri on.
I would have thrown Wanyeri on just to get us up the pitch, right? Yeah. We was camped in our box. I mean, Joe, what? You'd put if you was the 9 out of them 10 crosses that the Sunderland put in the squad, their second goal, we would have defended them. We were really well. We just weren't at it today. Weren't at it.
Worst defensive performance I've seen from us.
Obviously the comments. A lot of comments were we bottled it today. Tough away defeat. Not defeat. What a tough away game. And we get through it.
I've already got a text message. Don't worry, Tom.
It's not an excuse. It's not a fucking excuse. But the injuries cost us today. Because if you look at that bench, I think if Martinelli's on the bench, Madueke's on the bench, if Havertz on the bench,
they're your subs.
And I will say this, right? And there's always what ifs. I know I'll if Gyökeres was playing today, I reckon we win this game because that was a game for him.
Yeah.
He don't get bullied. He likes to scrap. I reckon he would have got a few goals tonight.
Sunderland have got away with one, in my opinion, because they, as I say, they're before. Let's not take away from the fact that they are the only team sort of like that's really gave us a big match. You know, we went to Liverpool, we were the champions, and I didn't feel as under threat as I did here. But I knew it. I had that feeling before the game. It's just something about this game told me that this, you know, when you go 2-1 up, you're thinking fantastic. But personally, I think you get a Gyökeres in, as I've just said. I think they've got away with it by the fact that we've got six attackers out. Your bare bones. I mean, we can argue and we can say and we can say to the manager, what are you doing with the subs? But like you've just said, personally, other than defensively, and sometimes he's more than likely thinking as a manager, I don't want to break up that back line because we're there.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, and then he go, I'm going to add a defender in. It's all easy for us sitting here on the armchair. He's thinking, shore it up. But it also invites pressure. And when you haven't got them attacking players to freshen it up, as I say, though, you needed to trust. He didn't trust taking Rice off the pitch. Rice was blown out of his arsehole, the poor fucker. I know he made a mistake, like I have labelled in terms of the first half. I was disappointed because he just lost track of Ballard. But he made up for it. But he was done, you know. And you needed that energy tone. And I think, you know, there needs to be, if you've got to trust a player like Norgard to try and see a game out like that, especially when your star midfielder's blown out of his arsehole, you know.
Yeah, but he looked at his bench and he probably thought, who can I bring on?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Tone. And that's my point, like with Norgard, dude. He's a type of player you have to bring on to trying to see something out. If you don't believe he's that good, then why have you signed him in the first place? You know, because Declan Rice is our best midfielder alongside Supermendy, but what the depth should be that if he's blown out of his arsehole, get him off and get Norgard on, you know, and he hasn't trusted that today. So again, I think he's one of them where he's thinking, as you say, Tone, if that bench is stacked, that game does not finish 2-2, you know, because I think we would have opened them up. Gyökeres would have pinned Ballard back. Ballard being a third centre half, and he's bursting in and banging the first goal in, and apparently he got an assist for the second. Because you know he's obviously an ex-Arsenal boy, don't you?
Yeah.
So he's obviously having a good time with his family. He'll be all happy and chuffed. But let's put it this way, mate: you're not going to reach the top anyway. But there you go. But
Diggs flying in.
It's no, you know, it's just at the end of the day.
Look, I thought by the way, I thought the ref was absolutely atrocious.
The ref. I didn't want to focus so much, Tone, but I just want to say it is because people are going to say that's the excuse right there. But he was.
It's not an excuse. Sunderland played well. Take nothing away from them.
Let's take that away. Let's not take away from Ballard because it's just some of their reaction time because these are ex-Arsenal boys. It's the same with Xhaka.
What really wound me up was Eze was getting fucking headlocked on the fucking sideline, and he gives the Sunderland free kick.
He got Ballard elbowed Marino, got away with it. He's put his arm around Eze. That's a booking, so that should be effective. I don't know if he got a booking before. Was he on a booking?
No.
Anyway, he's not got booked if he hasn't. If someone can correct us, then fair play. But he has held Eze back and he's blind for a free kick for Sunderland. And I'm sitting there going, what? Honestly, as I say, mate, this is, as I've said off air, and I'm gonna repeat it now, and I've said it in previous videos, though, this is why I don't focus, because this is what they get focus all the time. We should have been good enough to beat them, but we didn't have the players. So like the first starting 11, bar Moreno, in terms of having a fit striker, that team should have won. And I don't mean no disrespect, because Moreno, you've got to realise that's a tough place for a player that don't play as a centre forward. It's a tough game to expect it. I don't think people should be sitting there going, that's on Moreno. It's not on him. He's our only fucking choice to play there. And did you say, I noticed as well, though, that he was asking Eze, who doesn't play all the time as a false nine, he was asking Eze to be the furthest forward. And Moreno was dropping into midfield.
Yeah.
You know, and this is where I say you got to find a space for him, Tone, because at times when he's rolled as up front because he's only covering, he's not an out and out pinned centre halves. And the game today is where Gyökeres wins you that game alone, even if he doesn't score, because he pins their centre halves. and you didn't have that today. So I think that also played into their hands. But yeah, so personally, I think we should just sort of accept
You
that
know what?
it's a game.
Out of there. We didn't lose.
You didn't lose, and it looked like this is going to be 1-0 to Sunderland, in my opinion, first half. So fair play to them lads out there. It's a tough week, end of a tough week. We got in front. We were blown out of our arseholes, and I think it was, certain substitutions might have helped. We don't know, but look, we've come away with a draw. We have to just accept it. That on the day we've got away with one because we were poor, and we were poor because we haven't got that rotation, that effective rotation bones,
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a hard one. It's a hard one to swallow, really, because we've gone 2-1 up, and
it's when you go. That's the hardest
this
part
season, because this season we've managed to see games out of this nature in the last 5 minutes, but we just didn't play well at the back today, and I think
it was just poor. It was a poor.
We could say lack of attacking ability, but then also we didn't have any injured defenders. So if I'm playing devil's advocate, I feel like our back four was full strength. So we should have seen out.
Can I say as well, Tone? I mean, he's won. By the way, Ballard's won man of the match. But can you say anyone at the back line would you say was outstanding in terms of a team? With one player you looked at and gone, he's been phenomenal. Blah blah blah. I think it was a poor display really from the whole unit really. And I think it was just one of them. It's a tough game to go. We know that, but I think that's the worst I've kind of seen. So I think it's obviously a welcome break for a few players now. Tone, 2 weeks. We step back a bit. We will be bored, but now it's just keep your fingers crossed for the players that have gone out there, and let's get them back and let's just do it. We got I apologise. Excuse me. Got a tough one with Tottenham at home, so it's a big game.
We've got a run in. As soon as we come back, we've got.
It's a tough set of running there.
Rice looked like he was dead on his feet out there tonight. I just hope that England don't run him into the ground. I feel like Tuchel needs to, if any friendly, just leave him on the fucking bench. We've got a big set of games coming up. We've got Chelsea away, fucking Tottenham at home, Bayern Munich at home. We've got some tough fixtures. Aston Villa away, Brentford at home. That's not an easy game. We've got a run in now, and we're starting to build up to that Christmas period. And this is what's going to make or break our title challenge.
Of course it does. Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. I'm not prepping for an excuse at all. I'm saying right now that you've got these idiots going, it's Arsenal's to lose. It's Arsenal's to lose come April, and we're 7 to 9 points clear. This ours to lose. It's not ours to lose in October, November. They're trying to apply the pressure straight off. Just ignore it. At the end of the day today, something's going to happen. Get it out of your system. Obviously, that's what he's saying on the way home, Tone, on that bus. You say to the lads, all right, listen, it's not been a fantastic overall team effort in terms of defending. We've let 2 sloppy goals in. Let's keep our heads up, chin up, go away, and we'll work on some stuff. You boys come back and let's crack again. New start at the Emirates. We got a North London derby. We got a point to prove. People are thinking they're starting to bottle it again because we just let in 2 goals in. It was just a bad day at the office, and we haven't lost.
I think we're allowed a bad day at the office. Although one thing that
these are the games that you want, Tone. Because you have to realise that you don't want this at a certain part of the season. You want games like this where you've got away with one and you haven't quite won, but it's one of them games where you could have easily lost, if you know what I mean. So you have to. I'd rather this come along now and we haven't lost it. Do you know what I mean? If we'd have lost tonight, I would have been fuming. But it's a game you get them kind of bad games out of your system. You go away and then we start again. It's a tough run, as it always is come November, December. And this is the time where what I agree with is, I mean, Wenger used to say, we used to always have a bad sort of November Arsenal, and then would be December, January, we'd kind of be plodding along just about, and then come February, March, we'd start to put the accelerator on. Let's just keep it steady. Fact of the matter is we might have a decent result. It could be a score draw tomorrow with City and Liverpool bones. So there's not much gained or lost. So let's look at it on that side.
Thanks for your comment, Tony. What? Oh wow, he's not happy, is he? This is an absolute disaster. Arteta out now, so we'll win the league unless we get rid of Arteta by Christmas. That's deep. I mean,
yeah,
I'm on the fence with Arteta, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say get rid of him now. I mean, appreciate the comment though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
listen. Thanks for commenting, Tony. I mean, listen, mate. I get the frustration after something like this, but it's a bit much to say that at the moment, matey. In
I think he got
terms
it
of
wrong though. I think it's fair. I understand the frustration because I do think Arteta got it wrong tonight. He panicked, got a 2-1, threw on a defender,
that you
left
can agree with, yeah.
left a gaping hole. Sunderland were look. I did tonight. I was quite nervous because every time Sunderland got the ball, they looked like they was going to score or they were dangerous. We looked a bit shaky whenever they had the ball.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was.
think
It's
that
a learn to
yeah,
the atmosphere. But I mean, listen, I can't. We, as I say, we appreciate any kind of comment, but we can't. I can't
yeah,
agree
but
with
yeah.
that. And, that's a bit far, matey. As I say, it's not a
Question
defeat.
question for the people watching: do you think it's 2 points dropped or 1 point gained?
Yeah.
I'll leave that. I'll pose that to you, Wayne, as well.
Yeah, for me personally, it's a point gained. But this is one of the banana skins, and we haven't slipped. We've slipped a little, but it's in my opinion a point gained because you always when you want to run, when you're feeling invincible, you just need you need something to kind of give you a kick up the backside to say, look, this isn't sort of as easy as you think it's gonna we think it's gonna be. It's tough. It's gonna be tough. And games like this, as I say, mate, there was something about this game. Going away to Burnley, I still thought it was going to be tough. I thought we'd win. This is one of them games I thought was going to be a potential banana skin, and it's worked out that way. So I think we can't be you can't be slap houses after a draw. Look how much we won on the bounce. We've lost a clean sheet record now, so we've got to start that again. But it's a bad time to have started to defend poorly. But I think, look, it's a game that, in my opinion, for the first half, looked done. We were just shocking. So we've got away with one. It's a point gained. Is the long short of it, Tone, for me.
My fears were confirmed tonight. We only had one corner, which, by the way, I thought we wasted by going short because Big Gabs was being marked by Xhaka and he weren't marking him tightly. So that was an opportunity. I mean, obviously, it's naysay now that whether that would have gone in or not. But we didn't have many corners today. And my worry was, I shared it with a lot of other supporters, was we have a game where set pieces are very minimal. Are we going to score from open play? Are we going to be deadly from open play? Yes, we scored 2 tonight, but we didn't play well in transitions. And Sunderland bullied us. That's the first time in a while that I've seen us get bullied as a team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, I'm exactly on your page, mate. I just felt I thought to myself, it is the first time. I don't know what it was. I don't, look, again, it could have been, as I say, for me, I was affected by it. You was as well. I'm sure other Gooners was. I think it's the Shaka effect. And what I mean by that is that when you're playing against the next player and you're seeing his effect on the team, and I've never seen it. We've come up against a stronger team. Atletico Madrid, right, are the masters of the dark art.
I'm sorry. Fuck that guy. I think we gave him too much respect tonight.
Listen. After him trying to pick Moreno up when he does it all the time, and he used to do it for us. He can go fuck himself now. But what it is I don't know. I can't explain it, Tone, in terms that would make sense because I just think we don't struggle with this. So what was it? But listen, I'm just going to beat the same drum and tell you right now that it is a point gained, and we've got to move on from it. It's poor. We accept it. Have a break. Enjoy a 2 week without no Arsenal. Don't worry about England because they don't mean fuck all.
Not yet.
And don't stew on this result. I just think it's one of them where we've just seen our team struggle. I don't think it'll happen again for a while. This is a championship team with a good player who's fucking upset a lot of us now. He's upset me and you. But they're led by, the manager. They're high pressing side. You could see that they were pressing us constantly. I think they would have got, as I've said, they've got away with one time by the fact we didn't have a full strength side. So we move on. We could have been much worse. We have to accept that. And don't stew on it for 2 weeks because I think the important game is to move on. We've got a home game now. We go back at the Emirates. We've had a tough week, and we've avoided defeat in 3 straight away games. We are
Oh,
a good enough team, but come on, let's put it this way as well, mate. When you've got Moreno playing up front again, in all due respect, there's going to be a game when you're going to struggle, and the guys works his socks off. I'm saying, as I said, as we've made that point, Gyökeres, I believe, a Jesus, a Havertz changes that game by being on the pitch, and we had a central midfielder up front. So look at it that way, guys, and anyone watching, if there are, we appreciate it, and yourself as well, Tone, and our friend in the chat. We had a central midfielder up front. I highly doubt, fingers crossed, it will happen again. So unless we need to close a game out and we've only got Moreno and he puts him on as normal, you won't see that again. So we've got it happened, brush it off. We go again in 2 weeks' time, boys.
look, the only positives I can say as well, if we're looking at the league table, right, you got City and Liverpool playing tomorrow. I think if that game has a draw in it,
Yeah,
or
that's it. That's accept. That's it. Yeah, it's as you were.
or if Liverpool win, we're still going to be 6 points clear.
So what people are kind of
So,
moaning about. Sorry, mate. I don't mean to go in it. I just want to put it to your opinion as well. And I think what people are worried about. And again, as I say, I get where they're coming from, but what I still believe, I think that a City team, a Liverpool team, Chelsea and Tottenham, Man United, they'll be dropping points. But this Man City team and this Liverpool team will drop points. People are saying, "Oh, let's win it so we can be such and such a man." Listen, it's not always going to work out like that because they're playing each other. Is what they're saying. We'll get this opportunity again. We will get an opportunity.
I just think though that we've got to be very careful, right? We can't have any more of these sort of results. That's how tight the league is. Because Liverpool and City are going to hit a bit of form.
I get that,
right?
I know. I get what you're saying, mate. It's just you're going to get it, but this is a weekend where you could have a bye because either these teams going to want to lose tomorrow, so if it's a draw, you have to avoid it. But I still think they're more than likely to, without playing each other, drop points. We've got to just concentrate on ourselves, and we've got to get points. At the end of the day, as well, this is another. Sunderland has always been a tough away game for us, Tone, and that's why I've hated it. You trace it back to the last time we've won there. I can't remember. Them coming back up again. I think we drew again with them when they were there. So yeah, you got to keep the positive. Sorry, mate. Go on, you want to read that out, Bones?
Hey, Phil. Yeah, welcome to the channel. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thanks for your comment.
Figured out why Arsenal are very fragile. They are pressed very aggressively by the opponent, which Sunderland exactly did that. Yeah, I completely agree.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's it, mate. That's just thank you for the comment again, and that is it. As me and Tony said, and you'll agree, Bones, it was from the get-go, and they were pressing us high, and they're rushing us, and they were on us. And this is where I thought the attacking depth we struggled with because I think they were getting tired as well, Bones.
I think that's the first time. I think that's the first team that we've played against that's pressed us so aggressively around the pitch because we didn't have the chance to do our boot passing, as you call it, as you go around the pitch and then back round, then back round. We didn't do that enough because we were hurried and rushed. There was no opportunity to do that. So, and I think we didn't know what to do. I think the first 20 minutes of that game, I think we weren't at our best. I think we weren't up for it. I think they was in our faces. And fair play to them, they worked hard. I think the second half, I think Arteta kicked them up the arse because we did go into our own shells in that first half, and we were lucky not to be 2-0 down at times.
Tone, could you sort of enlighten me of your thoughts on this? And a game like today.
Thanks for the comment.
And thank you again for that. Both comments. Thank you. Me and Tony appreciate that. A lot of people, whether he does divide opinion among the fan base, but I think like an Ødegaard, a calming presence in that midfield might have helped this kind of game. No one kind of put their foot on the ball, slowed it down, and he might frustrate people, but he does things for a reason. And a game like today is about we didn't kind of control them. And they were aggressive in the press. They were, look at how many guys that Moreno got elbowed, he was down, and Timber he's got knocked, didn't he? He got a bash on the head, and he had to have a bandage on his head. They were going to the physical side, they were going to the high pressing side, and we played into their hands, but we didn't have a controller in the midfield. You know, Supermendy, I thought could have got more onto it. You know, so all right.
Oh, Bayern Munich fan. Oh, okay. Oh God, we've got to play you guys soon. That's going to be a tough one. We're not looking forward to that, by the way.
Yeah, you know what, mate? I've just read that, and I fully agree with that. And I think again, you know, we were played in. Sometimes you've got the teams you have, and the teams you have available. You should be good enough to do that. I think again, if certain players were back, I believe we would have been able to do what you're saying. But yeah, you get these teams like Union Berlin, you get teams like Sunderland, and you have to play a certain way against them because they're pressing against you. They're physical, and sometimes you just need that, and you need a player like an Erdegaard. You need someone to control. You need a Gyökeres. You need your centre forward to pin their centre arse back. You know, there's certain aspects of the game. You know, Saka as well, a fantastic finish, but sometimes you need your big guns to stand up. I thought Eza had good moments with the ball, but he just wasn't, you know, doing what we need a number 10 to do, and that is to grab the ball, control it, slow it down, stop these guys getting confident. Because once they're pressing you, they're forcing mistakes, they're forcing your mindset to change, you know. And I think it's tired minds as well. You get a lot of that. But thank you again for comment, guy.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant comment. And yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Look out for the Bayern Munich preview. It'd be good to have you on your comments on that.
Yeah, listen, please join us on the Bayern Munich preview as well. I think it's going to be a very good game. I'm not looking forward to it, even though it's at the Emirates. Bayern are a very good team.
Is it Archie? So I think I'm probably butchering your name. I apologise.
We apologise. Thank you for the comment.
And stopped pressing in the last 15. We became too defensive. We became fearful, anxious, and timid in the last 10 minutes, and it cost us. Completely agree.
100%.
Saying that, yeah,
we can't disagree with that at all. That's 100% right. Yeah, it was. You know, and also as well, there, my friend. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah,
we lacked that energy, that players to come on. You know, to kind of. I don't think Mikel wanted to kind of change it.
He didn't.
You know, and you're right. Thank you for that comment. That's the 100% right.
I think he didn't trust what was on his bench. That's the short answer. He didn't trust. He probably turned around and gone, "Fucking hell!" Like, look, I think if Martinelli's on that bench, he comes on just to get us up the pitch.
Yeah.
If Madueke's on the bench, he comes on.
Yeah. It's energy. You're right, mate. And what it is as well, you've got to realise. I don't think he, as I said to you, I know we had that discussion on our preview. I believe it was last night. So sorry, there's been a lot happened today, and then I've just watched that game. Was quite frustrated with it, but you know, yeah, it was. 1 year, I don't think he trusted into the youngsters to come on. You know.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for that other comment. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They don't. The thing is as well there, thank you again. Teams like that, when they've got the crowd behind them, and that crowd, I mean, I don't know if you'd watched the game, but you just, you know, I don't know if you get it sort of like in Germany. It's I don't get to follow a lot of the German football, but I know of them. I know of the teams. Over here, some of the crowd and the stuff they're appealing for, they're appealing for everything. You know, they're moaning at players for falling on the ground when their players are doing it, but it's perfectly okay. Teams like that, they foul, and that's what annoyed me with Xhaka, because I'm thinking to myself, if you go 1-0 up, 2 up, how many times did the Sunderland player fall on the pitch and get a foul? Because this referee was giving them a foul.
Yeah.
It's all tactics, and these kind of teams, you give them that incentive to do that, they're going to carry on doing it.
They set out to frustrate us tonight, and they've done exactly that. They've done
that, and they've the players. You know, if, as I say to you, 2-1 up tone. You know, I didn't agree with the Mosquera substitution, and I think that's what he needs to look at in terms of if like a Declan Rice was blowing. You know, there's a part, I don't know if you remember it, in the middle of the park, the ball's bounced. He hasn't quite got him. I think he's going to lose it here. He got it and he's kicked it up in the air. You know, this is a guy who's blown out of his backside. You need to get a player to come on for him, you know, and he didn't have that to go, Norgard on or whatever, or like a 1 year, you know. And whether he didn't believe in his options, which we've already stated, is the thing. But yeah, I think we played a little bit into their hands for that equaliser, Bones, you know. It was just, you could see it. You think Mosquera, I just didn't agree with it. I love the kid, but I didn't agree with him putting a defender on at that time.
Yeah, I think, look, we've got through a very difficult game. let's go into the international break. I mean, Joe, what all season, me and you've been absolutely moaned about international break because it disrupts the season. But
Yeah,
I feel like we need this one just to refresh,
definitely.
get our players back in, going into a very, very busy fixture pile up, and you've got the North London derby at home, so we need a fully fighting team going into that. And then Chelsea away, as I said, Aston Villa. We've got some tough fixtures, and it. There's a lot of football still to be played. So when the pundits, we're going to get I'm probably not going to listen to TalkSport or Sky Sports
just the
pundits
tone switch off, and
because it's
to
going to
any
be
Arsenal fan watching, switch off.
a lot of the word bodily and all that shit. So I'm going to have to rate. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother with.
My advice to again, thanks for the comments and stuff. Anyone watching, go. Don't just avoid any kind of thing. Don't look on social media. Don't look on anything. Just go about your day because we'll be saying that. Yeah, they're built for that. And as I say, I think you got to look at that manager as well, Tone, in terms of the contrast of it. And again, we understand that Sunderland are a team that just come up. I'm not comparing teams because we've got financial might when all our players are fit. But they changed their entire front three, and one of their front three got the equalising goal. And they realised they were blowing out because they're also chasing us, and they were one of them teams. Shaka as well can enable that as well from deep. And you're right there. And thanks again, mate. It's a good observation. It was Burnley. Burnley are different prospects of it, and this is why I worried, and this is why I said in the preview. And I just had a feeling about today, and I think it's come true. But I'm just grateful of a draw, Bones. We've come away with a point. We got to move on.
We're still top.
We have to.
They have to fight another
Let's carry on, Bones. Game at a time. We're going to have. There's going to be frustrations throughout the season. Personally, I'd rather be a frustration against like a Bayern Munich because they're going to be a tough outfit. As opposed to being in the league, because the league we need to keep track of the league. So
that's what it was tonight.
They was, matey, and listen to the crowd as well again, guys. I mean, obviously seeing it in there. I like to listen to it, like I said in the chat, Tone. But the commentators are absolute twats. But you just hear it. They're gonna. There's every player's playing for the team, and they've come back into the Premier League again. They've got a good manager. They've got good players.
It's not only that, right? We had a massive target on our back this weekend. We was going for that record, top of the league. So we could have been playing, I don't know, we could have been going away to Everton or whatever. They would have probably played a lot harder than against Tottenham because it's Arsenal. We ain't conceded the goal. Anyone we played away, no disrespect to Sunderland, any team we would have played this weekend away from home would have been probably aggressive, up for it. I mean, look how Sunderland celebrated at full time. You'd have thought they'd won the fucking FA Cup.
But this is the thing. And that's the thing, Tony. You're going to get that, unfortunately. Everyone's jumping up and down, hugging each other more. Not they're gonna Tony, because they're the team. It's a draw, but look what they're gonna be bragging there that they're the team we scored 2 against Arsenal. This team couldn't score. That one couldn't. Look, at the end of the day, it's a poor day at the office. Sunderland played the game that they needed to. We answered that, and then we just maybe didn't have the firepower or the players on the bench to give them something to worry about. Saka was, again, I don't think he's fully fit. You know what I mean?
Phil's getting right involved in the conversation.
Thank you, mate. Listen, we appreciate it, and it's right. It was, again, it's the crowd is any kind of stadium. You look at the game with us against Manchester United, and again, the crowd were there. They're more likely kind of expecting it in terms of the way they were playing, sort of thing. While this team in Sunderland, they've got nothing to lose.
Got a 12th man, haven't they?
They're the 12th man, and they're top of the league. They're playing top of the league, sorry. And so listen, it's going to happen. Whatever you play against, it is. When you're playing that, you have to get on top. You have to quiet them. But thank you again for that comment. You're 100% right. You have to come out of the blocks, and you have to quiet these teams down. And if you can't, get an early goal or put them under sustained pressure. And we just didn't. We lacked control today, and that is what worried me a little bit. But I think we can work on that. Just get the players back, and it will come back again. But that was one of them games where we have to just take the blow to the chin. It's not a knockout. We go again.
Yeah, it's a draw. I mean, a draw. It feels like a loss. That last-minute goal.
It felt that last minute.
Like a loss,
I hate it. I hate it because you're kind of stepping back a few seasons.
It creates the narrative though now, because if we would have nicked that, it would have been our, we're true title contenders. But now we've dropped it. Oh, they've bottled it. They've dropped that word. Bottle it is literally going to be on the lips of our rival supporters now, because they can't wait to fucking say it. They couldn't wait for us to drop points or concede a goal.
Yeah.
But look, it's a little blip. We're allowed a blip. We're humans. Yeah. The players have done so well.
They responded well. In my opinion, Tone, they responded well.
Feel that again?
Yeah. I mean, listen, mate, you're right. We've been there quite. Obviously, we go as regular as we can. But when you only get chances, when it's free, and the atmosphere. What it is this. What it is, Vil. We've got if we are pronouncing that right, your name. Sorry, mate. At the Emirates, we've got a balloting system where different fans get to go. Well, you don't get the same set of fans every time going. These are different fans.
No, we get a lot of tourists as well.
And you get tourists as well. They get an opportunity. They get in before And listen, I've got no problem with tourists coming in to support the club, because they'll be putting money into the club and whatever, and they some of them do.
But it does
the
impact
atmosphere. The atmosphere does struggle, and I agree with that, mate. Other than the fact the rendition of North London Forever, the Emirates can become a library if we're not playing well. The problem is you have to always get on top of teams for our fans to get on top, So it's one of them against with Man City as well. Man City is a big game. Should be the crowd, no matter what, should be still going for 90 minutes.
I'll give you an example, Wayne. Right, I went to an Arsenal game once at the Emirates. Yeah. I'll never forget this. I sat in the upper tier, right? When the atmosphere in the upper tier isn't always great, right? It was a big game. I think we were playing Man United, and no word of a lie, there was a Chinese family sitting next to my left. No disrespect to Chinese people, brilliant. Right? They go to a lot of football games actually.
They do, yeah.
And they were sitting there with a burger and chips and a drink. North London was playing, North London Forever, and they literally didn't even know what was going on. So, and I'm like, if you got that chunked around the stadium, right? It's gonna destroy your atmosphere, right? So
I mean, this is also sorry.
That's probably for another stream. That conversation.
As I say, thank you again. We appreciate the comment, because we don't getting interactions. This is what this channel we're trying to make this channel all about. That fans come onto here, and thank you, mate, to get a Bayern Munich fan on as well. We appreciate it. And like you say, you're right. Flamengo did destroy Chelsea in the World Cup. I remember that well. And it is that crowd is important. And what Tony has just said is 100% right. You've just described what the problem is. And there's also another problem, Tone, where they've changed a lot of the different people are sitting all different throughout the stadium. And, you just need to build the atmosphere. And when you haven't got the same amount of people in that same area, you've got people singing and other people going, for God's sake, shut up or sit down, or, you've got to be united. And this is the club's fault, in my opinion, in terms of killing the atmosphere, and that is what it is. You have to make the fans have to make the Emirates a fortress. And the way the club's done it, it's really kind of negated that, Tony.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Sunderland would have many tourists up here.
Not at all.
In Wearside. So
no, but this is it.
The local
you have described Arsenal Football Club to a T, and we think to yourself, but listen, you want to challenge for the big stuff.
Club. Yeah,
make our atmosphere, the stadium. We have to make it a fortress, and you can't have a set of fans sitting there watching, expecting. They used to call us the Highbury Library, but it was expectation. But I think now the atmosphere is not right in certain situations, and that needs to change, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, as I said, it's probably another conversation. Maybe in the international break, we can have a chat.
Yeah, we'll have a good chat on that one, definitely.
But I agree, it does make a difference having the crowd behind you. It really does. There's been games I've been at where we've played teams that we're tough fixtures, like Liverpool at home last season where we drew 2-2. I was at that game and the crowd was unreal. Like it's never been so loud. But you've got to try and be consistent.
Yeah.
But I think it's the expectation as well at the Emirates.
Yeah, it's starting to creep in again, isn't it, Bones? Yeah.
So, but I think we only start singing when if we score, then the chants go off for a little while. Then if we're losing, that's when the atmosphere picks up. And it's a few games where we're 1-0 down. That's when the crowd sort of wake up.
Have you? I went there. I went there when Jokeres, Leeds. I went to the Leeds game, and again, thank you, Phil. Yeah, it's right.
No, I'd say Champions League games when you see the away games. I've not been lucky enough to go to an away game in Europe, but you do see a difference in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's the evening, Tony. You're in that league, but I was at Leeds, and it's kind of like an expectation of if you haven't scored, if we haven't scored in the first 10 minutes, the singing stops, sort of thing. But you think to yourself, this is the problem, and this is what it has to be worked on in kind of creating a different atmosphere. You got North London forever. Not everyone in that stadium likes it. The two that who I change and I get to go if they can't go in their season ticket, they can't stand it. But for me, in my opinion, the way
I quite like it.
I like it because it unites the fan base at least. We've had years of Wenger in, Wenger out. And that was full thanks to AFTV made that even worse, just with their negativity all the time. But that fueled it. That fueled the Wenger in, Wenger out debate. You had Arsenal fans fighting each other. You had the Emery era. You know, North London forever for me symbolises just bringing it all together. We are here. We're Arsenal fans. We want one thing. We want success for our football club. And that's what that is. You've got that right. Now, the club itself have got to work on getting that atmosphere inside the stadium. As you say, Tone, make it like a champ. You remember Bayern Munich, the 2-0? Was it 2-0? Man City, I went to a Man City game. The stadium, I've been to games where the stadium was absolutely rocking. And that needs to happen against the Burnley. It needs to happen against the Sunderland. It's not just certain opponents every single game. Get behind them, get the stadium rocking. You're winning 4-5-0. Keep singing. Let's keep rocking. Keep getting them songs out. Let people hear us. Let's keep that atmosphere, because you can intimidate the teams. And our great, it's vitally important that we do that at our ground bones, especially against the bigger teams when it comes along later in the season.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I think that's probably a good way of rounding up the game, our evening, the podcast for tonight. Oh, no, you're good, mate. You're good. I appreciate the comment.
Please don't feel you have to apologise, my friend. At the end of the day, it's good, valid points. We appreciate it, and please, obviously, come back, like and subscribe. And again, when we get to it, please join us on the buy-in preview and what you think. We think it's going to be an interesting game, matey. But thank you for joining us, and everyone else that commented. We appreciate it, guys. Again, we're just a small channel trying to grow, and we appreciate the comments and the interactions. So there's no need to apologise. Thank you.
No, we love that. Cool. Cool. That's it for us, guys. We'll be back in a week to discuss. I think let's look ahead. Right after the international break, we're gonna go through the fixtures.
Let's have a breather and let's look at. I'm
gonna go and calm down, have a couple of beers.
Let's calm down, cut the beers, bones, and
maybe some spirits. I don't know yet. There's a bottle of rum in there. I might have to
just enjoy yourself. It's Saturday night time.
I don't think I'm touching match of the day with a barge pole this evening.
I'm not watching any football this weekend now. Yeah. I'll see the results tomorrow, but that's about it.
Talk sport is not going on in my car either. I'm going to give that a good break.
No, just avoid football. We'll have it flat. We'll keep it between us, Bones, and come join us, guys. We'll let it. You might see us. We might go live to let you guys know we're doing something. But thanks for tuning in, everyone, and have a good weekend, and let's forget about football for 2 weeks.
Cool. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Cheers. Take care, guys. Bye bye.